Yeah, but I'll work through you. I just asking her. She gave me a copy of
Yeah.
the 2007.
She's gonna be coordinating
Yeah.
that, and there will be some stuff on the next council agenda that kind of talks a bit more about the company.
That they choose, that you
the
chose.
company use. Once that's kind of set and approved by council, you know, that we're going with them, then she'll start setting the parameters, and that's when we'll start getting involved with some of the questions.
Yeah, and I asked her just how we could submit questions on parks, because I think it would be good that we, and she said, great, just send them through Joe. So this is the 2007 survey.
Oh, nice.
And you guys can glance at it, or if you want another copy, it's kind of tiny, kind of that bright light. And I read through it just to understand what they asked, so this is like 9 years old.
Yep.
There was a 2008 online survey.
Yeah,
I don't have access to that, so maybe
it was basically,
these
they
questions.
used a lot of these questions. It was a lot smaller
Yeah,
because
can I pass it around?
it wasn't done by companies, which is set up by us, so similar,
Okay.
just to kind of get some updated information. The one Laura's proposing to do will be more thorough like this, you know.
Oh, that's right,
Contract
because the
that
second
out.
one was like Survey Monkey, it was much lighter.
Yeah, the second was just done by us, you could just send out, there's
Yeah.
not cost for that. With this, you know, there's
Yeah.
gonna be, it's a little more comprehensive. They have people who will call, you know, those homes
Know how to
and say,
word the
do you have
questions
a
too."
half hour to answer these questions?
Okay, that's how the survey is taken, is on the phone.
There's some different ways, but that's one of the options.
Who's the firm?
I forget what Laura just came in this morning. It'll be on the agenda, but,
Has the city used them for any other?
we haven't used them, but Minnetonka, a whole bunch of local cities have used them before, and so they have a lot of experience with kind of cities of our size and this
Okay.
area. And, I think they're out of Wisconsin, so.
Okay, so just to be clear, they will be writing the questions with some input from us, or how does it work?
Well, basically, we can
Shape?
the questions, yes, and then they'll help.
Maybe
solve
edit
some.
if
So we go first, then they go. All
I mean,
right.
they probably have some examples or some guidelines of things that they've used in the past, but if there's something we want in it, that's
Specific.
probably
And our survey will be part of the city's survey?
correct.
Okay. And you had some timing in there.
Yeah,
I
Do we
need more
have, does
time.
it budgeted for?
Is this on the website?
that is what it's gonna
No,
go
it's
to
way
council.
down in the
So
website.
there wasn't
So
any
we'll
budget
get
in our budget this past year, but it was
So whoever works on the
a
survey.
priority for council
think
to
you
have
have
this
usually.
done this year.
I know those are not super cheap, but.
Yeah, so that will go in front of council on next Monday.
Well,
The final bid or the final cost?
oh,
Cost for the survey.
okay.
And we're not contributing any to the cost, are we, as the Park Commission budget?
We have no budget, so.
No, but I mean, our questions are covered by the city's
Yeah,
budget.
yeah,
for
this is a
this.
comprehensive for the whole city, so it will be
Yeah.
for all the departments. It
Okay.
will come out of everything.
So-
Kind of like its own pot that will come out.
Do we want like a survey subcommittee?
I think that would be a good idea,
Because I
to
think
kind of,
some discussion would be good.
well, since, you know, we'd like the draft to be kind of by March, so it'd be great to get a subcommittee to
Yeah.
work on it,
Yep.
think of some questions we want, bring it back to our meeting in
Yeah.
March.
Jacob said he wanted to work on it, and I'd be happy to work on it. Is it anybody else interested in working on it?
I'm just
I
curious
mean,
to see
we'll all
the
work on it
questions.
at the meeting,
Yeah.
at the next meeting, but this would be the subcommittee to kind of start
Yeah.
the work.
Gordon, perhaps you submit a few questions.
Sure. Yep.
There are some in there at the end of the park
Right,
section.
so we can get sort of, kind of what, a gauge maybe on some of that? Did they
Yeah,
go
it'd be
into?
interesting to think about that for the golf course, from like Orono citizens' perspective, but then also from like golfers' perspective, which a lot of them aren't citizens.
questions.
You know?
Right.
Well, there's like 4 or 5, or maybe even more pages of questions for parks in there, so it's not like it's 3
No,
questions.
3.
And the last section is on the golf course, and there's.
Would it,
like
would it be
4 or 5
possible to
questions.
like, while we're in the mindset of doing surveys, for them to carve out like a golf course specific one, where like Kim could send it out to the golfing population there to get feedback?
Yeah, we could have our own kind of like
Yeah.
offshoot that we could do just for the golfers.
That'd be great.
You
I
know,
don't know,
just QR
just
code it. on
gathering
when they come
feedback
in.
broadly, that'd be interesting to have some data points from
I
them.
think that'd be easy to do when they come in, you know, when golfers are in the clubhouse. they make
So we do that
great
later in the year,
feed.
follow up with when they're golfing.
Yeah, we could just
Like
make
May,
something
June.
a little more, cause I think
May
as
to July.
Gordy's saying, you know, Orono residents are gonna have different concerns than people who are from other areas
Yeah.
who are golfing, so.
Yeah.
What
Like,
brings
see
them
both
here,
sides.
all those things, yeah.
Yeah, and what they're looking for,
Okay.
comfortable with.
All right.
Now that we might have to pay for.
It depends how comprehensively.
Yeah,
If we just
because
want it to
this
be-
one will be implemented when we'd want to do that one, the timing.
Yeah, we could make it a little bit less formal. So this one, the big thing is the gathering of your information. So the downside with when you're doing like a survey monkey is you're reaching the people who are active and involved and already kind of have their voice, where the people you're not reaching are the people who are just kind of living their everyday lives and you
Yeah.
know, something catches their attention. So what you're really getting those people to get more of like a ride array of
Mhm.
people, where at the golf course, I think the people who come in, we're gonna be able to catch those coming in because they're playing golf there.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean, it won't be
Yeah,
everyone, but if we could get a good
yeah.
swath of them, I think
Well,
that'd
I'm
be
excited
helpful
about this,
information.
this will be good,
And that, the cost for that would be barely anything.
yeah.
That could be that informal.
Yeah, because it would just be, you'd set up something like a survey monkey that you
Yeah.
can use the QR
Right,
code.
yeah.
Just fill it out.
So we're saying that Molly, you're keen to be on the subcommittee, and Jacob said he'd be interested, so
And Gordy is going to.
I'll help on the
provide
golf set.
inputs.
Gordy is golf part of that, that's excellent, and then, so what would make sense to bring to our March meeting, your proposed,
What's the March meeting date?
our next meeting?
Yeah, what's the March meeting date?
Oh, do we,
Sorry.
early, it's always early,
Yes, it's first Tuesdays, let's see.
I can tell you.
Yeah, I can
Off the top of my head.
March,
It will be March 3rd.
Okay.
I mean, the whole design criteria around surveys is pretty complicated.
Yeah.
You know, what's the sample size, you know, how are you gonna reach out for them?
Yeah.
You know, do we really care about, or do we care more about Orono citizens than we do non-Orono citizens at the golf course? Are we,
Oh, at the golf
are we
course.
reaching adequate numbers of those different populations? So things to
Are
kind
you
of.
talking specifically about the golf course or?
I'm talking
overall?
about just saying, okay, let's do our own survey is a little bit naive unless we make sure that it's significant in terms of statistics.
Well, I think that this firm can help with that.
That
Well,
would be
we were
for-
just saying we're gonna do it on our own. That's
Oh, we
what.
did, sorry, I didn't.
no, we're gonna do this one with the city,
Yeah.
we're gonna do a +1 on the golf course.
Right, but isn't.
And the one for the city is just for residents, it's not
Yeah.
for
Right.
outside.
So the company that's helping design that survey would not be involved in the golf course survey? Okay.
Yeah.
Right, and we're gonna submit questions for council to accept, because this is their survey.
But there's a portion of that addresses the golf course in here
And that would
for
be-
residents?
No, we would discuss it at March 3rd.
Yeah,
Say
because
that
we'd have
again.
enough time to get
Yeah, there's,
us to hear what you wanna propose and then
where is
finalize
that,
it.
if there's questions of the golf course and.
Yeah, there are a few in there.
Yeah.
So, and those can be edited too, based on, it was interesting to read it. I don't, there's like 4 or 5 pages in there. It might be worth it if we can make hard copies of just the part questions for this team, because I did read it and it talks about like who said this and then what they typically were, like they were living here less than 10 years, had kids, were involved in city events, so it makes you get in like a good mode when you think of how you wanna do the questions.
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe, Joe, you could just copy
For sure.
That would be very helpful,
Yeah.
Yeah, my only reason for my comment is you can come up with erroneous
Right.
results, depending on how you skew it, depending on how you phrase this question, depending on how you sample size, and all those things.
Yeah.
And if, you know, I think it's important to get feedback from users as well as just citizens, but it's gotta be, if, to be relevant, it's gonna have to be designed by someone who knows how to do that. And us just, you know, coming up with the questions of what do you know, do you like to golf here? Or-
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hopefully these questions will answer.
Well, I
some
think
and shape
these
what a
guys
professional
are, the
might be.
professionals make sure that they do it in such a
Yeah.
way that,
I would agree.
you know,
Yeah, we wanna do it right.
Well, maybe the first question is, do we need an additional
So
survey?
I was
Once you
thinking
look
more
at
along the lines
those.
of like, while we're at it with a professional, if
Yeah.
there's information we can glean from a professional mindset on surveying,
yeah.
we should explore doing that at the golf course. I don't think there's anything specifically there now that we
Yeah.
need feedback on. I mean.
The only thing we wouldn't get is non-resident golfers in this one, but,
Yeah,
so you'd have to,
but like
But I
seeing
think
what
we
they
should
did
start
here, I
there.
mean, this, it'd be good to get a new, you know, have this done again, just 10 years more current
Yeah, yeah. For residents.
for residents.
And what we can always do is what they did with the survey after.
The
is to
20
pull out
2008
questions from
questions.
this
Mhm.
for the non-residents, and
Yeah.
you can just answer the golf
Yeah,
specific ones.
yeah.
why don't we do this then? You
But let's,
and Jacob are the sub-team, Gordy will be will provide the golf course questions. You'll bring the proposed park questions to our March meeting, our park commission
Yes,
meeting. We will
yes.
all look at those. And then we would want to give those to Joe, and then Joe would take them to the city
I'll take
council.
them to,
So I don't know.
I'll basically share with Laura, she'll put it together with her big packet from all the other departments, and then since it's really her baby,
Yeah.
she's doing
And
the
then
work.
Jacqueline, you'll want to see the questions that we want to put in as a city council?
Yep.
Oh, we'll see
They'll
those
see
there
it
when they're
all.
presented.
So you'll see them that way versus us coming separate, okay?
They'll see, yeah. So
Okay,
it'll just be
cool.
presented as the whole department.
That's a perfect
Ours will
plan.
be
We would
covered.
discuss golf, but at the same time, we're discussing park.
Yes.
In March,
Yeah.
yeah, and then the second survey, I think we should say is TBD, after you finish what you want to put in this one and decide, maybe you wait till you get the results and decide you want more.
Yeah.
But I really want to make sure we have a really good set of questions for this one,
Yeah, this is
because it's kind of
the
a
top
gift to us, we
priority.
wanted to do a survey,
Mhm.
if the city's doing it, so.
Okay, we're gonna get input March 3rd from the commission.
You, Jacob, and Gordy, after you.
Joe, can you email this to us?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, is that a working session or is that a regular meeting?
I don't know, I don't
Look
have
on
it.
the board back there, seeing
Oh,
the big one, just in March. I think it's just a work session.
see, I don't have anything for March, I have April 7th.
Is that when we're taking off?
Oh, we might have decided to,
Is there?
And then May 5th, and April 7th's a work, remember we changed it up so much?
Yeah, nothing in March.
I think you had it right.
Yeah, then it's April.
Yeah.
When were they talking about doing this?
it looks like May,
In May?
implementation from May to July.
Oh, yeah.
So if, do you think we could still do it April 7th?
Yes.
You'd have time to get it to Laura and
Yeah.
the review with the council? Okay.
And is that a,
What I can do
Work
is,
session.
we can,
oh, I have it down?
I thought.
Okay, that's good, it's good at the, it's a work
we
session.
have a couple, we can have a special meeting if we feel like we need to, and we can have.
Prior?
Mhm.
Okay.
In March if we want to. If you come up with some questions, and send them out to everyone, everyone can kind of review them. If there's no big
Yeah.
laws or anything.
To
I mean,
test
they're
if we
gonna
need a
be-
meeting?
They're
Yeah.
gonna be added, they're gonna be reviewed
Yeah.
at council meeting,
So may-
reviewed at our meeting.
Okay, so
yeah,
maybe,
As long as we
April-
don't discuss them.
Right.
When will the applicants that apply, when will they find out if they're on the new commission? In the month of March?
They'll actually, so we're shooting for some time in February to do the interviews, so.
So by
has to be
March, we,
coordinated. Yeah, so they can be seated by the March, by March, yeah.
Maybe we could do a meet and greet with the new
Before
commissioners,
April?
but not like a meeting. Because the one thing I want to say is, Michael and I met with Joe, and we were talking about various things, and Michael just said, I have a master's in park administration. And I'm like, why don't I know that? Because we never have conversations about what skills we have. And so we kind of talked about having like a pizza party, but just not really a meeting, just get to meet people
Yeah,
and say like, that is so cool, because we can be
Right.
tapping into you with that expertise. I don't know, Gordy, other than that you love to golf. I don't know if you're interested in staying on, but I think we could have something in March, just
We just have
with
to
the
do
new
a
people, and it's a
public
meet and
notice
greet.
that we're meeting, and then
That's
we
always
do
the
that.
challenge, just like the open meeting laws and all that.
You can beat it, you just can't discuss anything parks related if you're at a quorum.
So, but if we ordered a pizza and had it in here and you were with us, you could be our like hall monitor, so we don't do that?
I mean, we could just have an open meeting and,
Yeah, I mean, to me, it would be to get to know each other and learn things like Michael has his master's, not really talk about things, but I'm sure the conversation might go that way. What do you guys think?
I don't know. Life is so busy.
I know, but I just feel like we don't know what everyone brings. Everyone has gifts.
I feel the same way, I've always felt that way, but I understand the reason why we have open meeting laws, and that's like a really,
Yeah,
it's hard to do that.
Yeah,
because I find it probably almost impossible not to talk
yeah, well,
yeah.
about the city or business or.
Okay, so maybe at the beginning of the work session in April, we can go around and like, tell everyone to just do a quick bio to share.
I think that sounds great.
Then it's within the system, and I'll just use you as the example. I mean, the fact that you have from my alma mater, and I found it out happenstance.
Yeah,
It makes me think, I
No.
know you, but like,
Yeah,
everyone's got gifts to share, and I'd like to expedite that sharing for this next year. And then we catch the new people, and they.
Yeah, and what I would like to do with the new members, kind of what we did with you guys, where we did a little
onboarding,
Yeah.
onboarding,
Yeah.
half-day, kind of getting them up to
Yeah.
speed.
It's like the get to know you.
Would it be all right if whoever could attend from this group, the onboarding attends? Is that legal?
Well, it would be this, it would just be. a
Quorum
meeting,
again.
and It would have to be a special meeting,
Okay,
because you guys, we would be.
we were there, okay. Because I remember thinking when we went through the orientation that it might have been nice to have some of the park commissioners.
What I was
with us.
thinking is, this is something that I wanted to talk to you guys about with the new commissioners, since, instead of maybe having like a park commissioner buddy or something, like one of the new
I love
members
that.
can be paired up with one of the, the more seasoned members and just, have a lunch or whatever you want to do, go to some
I
parks,
would
enjoy
definitely do that.
And just kind of get them up to speed.
And the other thing that Brian, I think, tried to do when he put together the 2025 plan with the subcommittees is he had kind of a veteran and a newbie on all the different subcommittees, and I think that's a really important
Definitely.
sharing
You don't
of
wanna
information.
Carry
You wanna
that on.
stick two
Yeah, carry
people
that
who
on.
kind of don't know what's going on a subcommittee, and then they're just,
Yeah,
blind going into it.
yeah,
We
so
definitely wanna keep,
an old one and a, yeah,
just,
okay,
it's gonna help. It's gonna help them be successful,
yeah,
get a new voice,
Yeah,
and a new
yeah,
kind of
yeah, yeah.
view on things, so.
yeah, because Hackberry will need
Some people.
another person maybe, Jacob and maybe a new person.
Yeah, I think that's part of what we need to go through with the goals before we get ahead of that.
Yeah, that's why I threw that on.
I just want to kind of reinforce Kim's idea with this getting together to more informally talk about each other, and specifically with the new people when they come in. And one question, we were bringing it up when we were talking about chairmanship and stuff is, why are you interested in doing this? What are the things that kind of rock your boat a little bit? And those kind of allow them and us to sort of divert their attention to specific projects and CIPs and that kind of stuff within. So I think doing that in concert with whatever this onboarding might be in front of, maybe it's scheduled with a work session or something.
What I'd recommend too is, if you have the time and you're able to make it, is when council does the interviews, like how you guys went through the interviews.
Oh, you can sit in those, because that's public.
Correct. If you
Could we
want.
make the work session on April 7th? Could we make that longer and do some introductions
Yeah.
with the new people?
We just have a work session only,
You
so.
can go
I
as
think-
long as it wants,
yeah.
as long as it
We don't have
goes.
to make it, it will just go as long naturally, because we don't have a.
Yeah,
council
this
meeting.
one's just.
Yeah, I
we
think
have the regular-
for the April work session, I can maybe
Introductions, yeah.
propose some questions to Joe to share with you guys for the get to know you. And then we'll talk about the survey, which is kind of a nice way to start, because you're
It's a
getting to
great-
know each other better, and then you think there's a survey, so I'm gonna be grounded in some good information as I'm a new commissioner.
Love it.
Okay.
It's a meeting.
Yep, 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 yep.
um,
Thank you, Molly, for taking point on that. And Gordy. Gordy Golf, Gordy.
So, I'll talk to Laura too, just to get a little more like concrete
Make sure we're working with
dates
what she's
to
doing.
say, instead of, April is a long month, so if it's
Yeah.
April 15th, we need to have everything done by, or if it's April, whatever,
Mhm.
we'll have a little more concrete timeline, so we know
Great.
when we should have everything in.
And she was
Plenty of
super
time for
welcoming. She
early
said,
survey.
yeah, just let Joe know what you want to add.
We want this survey to be successful and to get kind of good data from it. It's gonna help
Yeah.
Do you have applicants right now for the Park Commission?
We have 2 so far. So, and they're gonna we were talking about it right before, but they're gonna resend out blast of we're looking for again.
Can we put something in the happenings, or what is it called?
Newsletter.
The newsletter?
We could do it in a newsletter, but it'll be too late.
Because that's every other month, isn't it?
Yes. All right.
So the next one's March. March, April, yeah. So
Maybe we could announce the new commissioners in the.
we could do that. Do
Yeah,
that.
That would be good to ask Rachel.
She does need the article, or she does need them. It might be for not this newsletter, but the next one.
Yeah.
That's good.
'Cause this one, the deadline's.
I'll just,
this
maybe,
month.
well, should I shoot her a note or should I have you do that? What's better?
Oh, yeah, I can talk to her.
You can?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're now having, communication meetings, we had the first one today, so we're kind
Oh,
of. figuring
perfect.
out
Yeah.
Social media and email blasts and
Yeah.
the other stuff for the whole month, so.
Yeah,
we'll
okay.
make sure. Yeah,
Okay.
I think since this one, all the information's due by the middle of this month, and then it'll be out for March, April, so then the next one will be,
Awesome.
so that'd be good.
That just sounds like a good plan. Everyone
Mhm.
seems cool with the survey plan?
Mhm.
And then I think you see that, once that's kind of completed and they're gonna do their work from May to July, and then by August we'll have
And you can
results.
tell us when you can bring it back?
Yeah, it will be presented at council.
Oh, right, so we should just make
there's that.
priority to be at that.
But
council.
I'll bring our kind of
Yeah.
portion here to get a little deeper in.
I think it'd be good to hear the
That's gonna
whole the context of the whole survey, even though we're
Yeah.
focused on council.
Oh, yeah.
or part-
be- A lot of the other aspects of other parts of the city are gonna also, I think.
Because there's
be helpful to
natural
us.
resources, there's sustainability, there's things in there that I think we should know, even
Mhm.
though we don't need to put questions in.
Just overall priorities. and-
Okay. So you will, before the end of tonight, make copies of those part questions,
Do
or can you not do that? I don't know.
I could make, once we're done, I can make copies.
Yeah, because I was
Or
thinking,
do you want a digital copy?
oh, digital's fine. Laura said, she said there's a lot of clicks to get to it, but you don't
Okay.
have,
I can just make a copy if yeah.
if you can do all the clicks and then send us a direct link to it,
Yeah, I'd like
that
that.
would be fine.
That's a lot of paper.
It is a lot of paper.
Yeah, and that was her
And
copy. I
small.
didn't make any extras. She gave me her copy.
At the
Okay,
very least, I can scan it and put it in.
okay. I just think it's good for all of us to have it, because it just kind of grounds you in
Yes, yes,
Maybe get
yes.
survey
solution,
thinking.
Scan it and email it out.
Yeah,
If she doesn't have a good.
thank you, Joe.
So the next agenda item I just had about Adopt a Park.
Mhm.
So, nothing's been really happening with Adopt a Park. So
That's, I was responsible.
It's no one's fault. 'cause
Right,
it's
I know.
not just-
And
But
we
we kind of agreed.
decided to take it
Yeah.
off and,
Yeah.
and, put it in the parking lot, so.
It might, it doesn't have to be, it doesn't even have to be adopt a park, it could be
Something else.
something else.
Yeah.
A volunteer, different volunteer program, if we decide, oh, adopt a park's not really, you know, we're not getting our bang for the buck,
Yeah.
our work.
What's
It's
the
not
backdrop on Adopt a Park? Is that like somebody else owns it? Or,
It's really a group, a family,
yeah,
individual.
yeah.
I actually have the application here.
So we could make Adopt a Park whatever we wanted it to be. It's not like a preset. We could make adjustments to it if we wanted to. Yeah, okay.
So, until recently, this still had Adam's name on it. He
Okay.
hasn't, when he is the public works director, which has been almost a decade. So that just tells you the last time it was looked at.
Yeah.
Um,
So we don't know if these Adopt a Park commitments are quite old, potentially, so they're not active, or we don't know.
We were gonna
Some of
survey
them,
them.
some of them might still be
contact them.
doing things,
Yeah,
but
there is a group that they're listed for those particular parks.
Yeah.
Here they
As
are.
being-
Like your park, is that an,
Your one?
Antoine?
Oh, Antoine, yeah, that's
Is
one.
that an Adopt a Park?
it's
Yeah.
not, it's not an official adopt a park, but there are neighbors
That are very involved.
who take care of it.
Okay.
So that might be another option, instead of making this formal adopt a park, we have
Various
organized
ways.
groups of residents near a park who wanna be involved.
Yeah.
It's not so formal where we put a little sign saying this is adopted by the Smith family,
Yeah.
it can be,
Yeah, we definitely want to embrace and honor what we have.
yeah.
And that Antoine's got quite a neighborhood.
Well, Cameron had done quite a bit of work on it at one point in time, just before he left. And
Okay.
he had posted a lot of that stuff for us to review. And what he had was, he picked a couple of cities that had successful programs, and he sent us that, you know, that material.
Okay.
And that was just before he moved and left the commission.
You
So
have
there, I don't know where that's report and stuff that he had went. I mean,
I'll see if I can locate it. It's-
Yeah.
It's been difficult for me.
See, Masters in Park Administration is coming through now. Let's not reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, if we have that information, if not, I think that's a good place to start, is
Yeah.
to kind of look at some successful programs.
and there,
Yeah.
some of those parks have got a sign on them that they've been adopted, but
Yeah,
that sign might have gone up, you know, in '64 or something.
exactly.
Not that far back, but.
I would say this, I haven't usually, you know, at Antoine, the residents do contact me if they need, can we get some mulch, can we get some,
Mhm.
but I haven't gotten too much from our current.
Others.
And they
Is this
might-
something we wanna put in the survey? Something asking what our citizens would be interested?
I'm not sure we would get valuable information, because they might say something that they wouldn't actually do. Like, would you be interested, like, remember we were at Target, would you spend $1 more for this? Well, of course, I'll say yes on the survey, but when I go in the store, I'm not gonna do it, so you have to be very careful.
Well,
What
that's
are the responsibilities of these, like, is there like a charter up there that talks about what goes along with having your name attached to these parks?
What you're supposed, it's really, they're supposed to work out kind of like details of what they're doing, 'cause each park is different. It could be planting, it could be doing plantings, it could be making sure there's not trash there, it could be just kind of like how you guys do at parks, reporting things that need to be, that's really the problem, there isn't a like set guideline.
You know, once we go through the park categorization by type, that might help on adopt, like what this means, because like a nature, like say, French Creek, like,
Yeah.
what does that mean to adopt French Creek versus Antoine? So maybe that would help if we could get that categorization done, and we have the standards by park type, and then you could use that to feed what a caretaker role might be
Yeah,
know,
and I'm
neighbors.
just, it's like figuring out, would I adopt a park that's close to me? Versus would I adopt a park that is a preserve and I'm like totally into preserves and I wanna do that
Mhm.
kind of stuff? It's like getting into where people's interests are, and I think it would be interesting to ask the survey people if that is a viable way to get input, because you want to understand what people want to do and what they're willing to do.
I think
before
what we
you-
get out of a
before
survey is
you-
interest in it, but I'm not sure the follow-through would be there. Like,
But-
who's not for adopt a park?
Well, I don't know that I would find time to do that.
No,
Right?
but,
As a concept?
yeah, I think the survey would show interest in the city having
Well,
interest in adopt a park, but I don't know about follow-through to say I want to do.
Well, I
this.
don't think you did, well, yeah, I don't
But
think
maybe-
you'd stop, I don't think you'd stop at, are you interested? It's like, what would motivate you to do this?
Yeah, well, I would say you're in charge of
Yeah.
the subcommittee, so if you got a good question, bring it back and we can
My
discuss it.
prior experience with Adopt a Park, there's two ways you can go.
Yeah.
And they're usually, you give people options. One is, I adopt this park, here's $1,000 a year or something for
Right.
maintenance of it.
Right.
And you put a plaque of it.
Right.
The other option is, we're gonna put in 10 days of, you know,
Time.
a cleanup or something at the park minimum, and then they make a pledge for that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Those are
time and
usually
sweat
the-
equity.
yes.
Mhm.
So that could be another question. Would you rather give money or? I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I think we're a little, maybe I'm wrong. This could easily be wrong.
No, I don't think
It's
you're
on a
wrong. I
daily
mean,
basis.
that's the issue with surveys, is you don't know you're getting
Yeah.
the right person
Yeah.
to ask. You know,
But
if
I
your
think
whole
when you-
survey size sample is from people that aren't interested in it, then you're gonna say, okay, let's not do one. I mean, it's like, it's an erroneous conclusion. But,
How do you find out?
I think you just find those parks maybe where they've already been, like we said before, assigned to somebody. Contacting those people, and because have you know, are you still interested? Have you done anything? What
Or
are you
boots on
willing
the
to do?
ground.
Yeah, ask them those kinds of questions.
Yeah.
And this could even be, you know, we want to scrap Adopt a Park, we don't think it's working. What we'd rather focus on
Right.
is a volunteer group who can work at whatever parks need it. It's not your.
And it aligns with the council wanting to build community, right? So maybe
Yeah.
it's community care and
Yeah.
it's bigger than adopt a
Yeah,
park.
yeah.
Because I think people might have a preconceived notion of like, I want to sign up and
Right.
give money. But
Right.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just something to look at, and it's, every city's kind of unique, and I think, yeah, just asking
Mhm.
like, would you be supporting of Adopt a Park isn't gonna really get us where we want to be, that question, but.
Did
We
you
can
have
always
ex-
ask the, you know, the professionals who do this.
Are there any other cities that you're aware of that have a really successful program like this?
I'm sure there are.
I think Minnetonka,
Yeah.
it's in the stuff that Cameron put together. He got 2 or 3,
It'd just be good to benchmark that.
Yeah.
and run
Yeah,
that.
that's what he was-
Understand what's
Yeah.
worked and what.
In the prior city I worked at, we had a really good Adopt a Park program, but there was also a full-time coordinator who was in charge of kind of that kind of, so they did, every year they did a notable yards contest, so whoever had the best yard could be like nominated and you got a little prize, and then you would have one person kind of coordinating each of these, reaching out to businesses, reaching out to, you know, community groups to be in charge of that, which can be, it's a lot of work to kind of coordinate that, but once you kind of get it going, then these groups can end up, you know, getting really invested in the park and they're there all the time. It's just,
I like what you said though about like opening it up to see what else we want to do as a city and having more volunteers helping us.
Yep.
And
And
having
community
building
building.
community.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I kind of feel like this is the doorway
This
for
is a
that.
piece of it.
Yeah, and for it's
some
our
of the
parks way.
there isn't a lot of, you know, work to be done at them that a volunteer can do. You know, it's a trail, there's some branches out, it's, you
Yeah,
know,
it's
that's.
like go to the dog park and get a dog off by the street.
have to
No.
like kind of
Yeah.
make it.
How much do you want people taking, you know, like?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we don't, you know, we.
Showing up
don't
with a
want-
chainsaw.
we don't want people
Or as their
using-
own weed whipper or cut the
I mean, that
grass,
goes
like, we
against
don't want
the-
them doing
That
that.
goes against
Good
our
point. Yeah.
city policy. We don't want people using any equipment.
Yeah.
Even when the
So we
rotary
need some
put in
guard-
the new.
guardrails.
like, worked on that, the platform, like, I had either me in person to say they could not use any kind of machinery to put that in, so they had to pick it up. And so, that's something to be concerned, you know, something to think about is,
Yeah.
there is limitations to what people can do.
Yeah.
Just
Weeding.
as- Weeding, just
Planting.
Yeah.
planting is a big.
But maintaining what you plant, that's what
Yeah.
I've learned from
Yeah,
talking to you and
maintaining.
Adam, is like that. We're all good at starting something, but we're not good at having a
Yeah.
maintenance plan.
Like Lydia Beach, one of the resident lives there, she puts flowers in, takes care of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, so that's another good one to follow up on.
And that's-
So if you can't find all this Cameron Porter work, I wonder, do you still have Cameron's email to ask if he would have kept that? Because if he did a nice job, he might have kept it in his own personal files, or you would
I
have.
could probably find a way to get in touch with them.
Yeah, that'd be
I
great.
think I was.
He did a really
You
nice
text-
job
text
to
him
that
on
That would
point,
be
yeah.
great, Gordy.
I'll ask Adam too, he usually,
Let me know if you can't find it, I'll text them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you both.
Yeah.
we look first, so.
And I think Janice
Yeah.
was helping him? Was that, do I have the right name there? That, lady that was with us?
Oh, Jan Bird.
Yeah, Jan, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
She was a part of that subcommittee.
as we think about 2026 planning, then would this fall under kind of community building, kind of a broader umbrella? That this would be a part of it versus just having adopt a park?
We could, I think the first thing is to go through the goals we're gonna go through that the council
Yep.
has given us, and then see how this fits in there. I think this will be an add-on to
think it
that,
could.
but it should fit under a bigger,
Yes.
you know, umbrella.
I think that's probably why Adopt a Park has kind of fallen off, because it's, like, once you.
It's a one out on the side.
Yeah, it's, once you.
We can put it, I mean, we can put it in there. I do think it does fit under a broader.
I think it's a good opportunity to, you know, engage citizens.
Yeah, and it was Molly and Michael last year. So one of my thoughts is, I'm just thinking when it comes to people, I don't wanna, I think you brought
But we
this up
can work
earlier,
on
we
it.
don't need to assign the sub-teams tonight during the council meeting, let's just get our
No,
goals.
I thought it would be good to wait until we have the new
Yeah,
members, because.
But let's get the goals.
Like what happened
kind of
last time,
finalized.
we went through, assigned them all, and then when you guys got seated, it was like, well,
Yeah.
we're just doing it all over again.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
why would we do
Yeah.
the work
Yeah.
twice here?
You know.
I think right now, just if there's something to focus on, you all have committees right now.
Yeah, and I think as part of their onboarding, you should share the goals. I mean, the council spent a lot of time on parks this year,
Yeah.
so that should be part of the onboarding to say, we're getting a lot of attention, and we should be embracing their attention, and these are the goals, like, as you're coming versus get that later. I think that would be a nice way for them to come in with a better sense of where things are here.
Yeah, and I know council is more, they know what they're looking for more in park commissioners now, and
Yeah.
they know what to ask.
Yeah.
Whereas before, it was, they were just.
There was no
New
contest.
commissioners, we're new council, new commission, it was kind of like, here's these people, decide if they're
Yeah.
good. and-
2025, now we're into 26, so we can maybe line up a little quicker. But yeah, I think that's good.
I think it would be good for both sides to kind of
Totally.
know where people are coming from.
Yeah.
Can we talk about annual planning or 2026 planning in our working session? Now that we've got time.
I think that's a good idea. You've got it on the agenda for the council, yeah. Are we all good to,
I didn't hear that. I mean,
Oh, I asked if it would be, because I think we've covered the two topics for the work session. Would it be okay to start talking about 2026 planning in our work session versus waiting for the
okay,
meeting? Is that not?
yeah.
you good with that?
you're good with that, Gordon? Just keep going?
Sounds great.
So, when do we present our goals to the council, or I know there's an outline, but I think there's an expectation that we're going to create goals based on council's recommendations. Is that right? So is the expectation that we would be creating goals
So here's kind of a
that
breakdown.
speak to the goals that you outlined
Well,
for us?
we
Or
have goals.
So this is,
So is it done? Did you?
We did a lot of work.
You did
So
our
I would
goals?
hope you guys would read this over and then come with those types of
I
questions.
did read it over.
Okay, and then what did you take away from it?
That it looks like it's pretty well baked, and I just sort of thought that we should have a voice in our goals.
I think where we're at.
But is that not? How
You
it
should have a
works.
voice in your goals, but you're losing me, so.
I think right now what this is what council is looking for. And then it's
Yes,
gonna come down to us
yes,
to discuss it,
yes,
and then back to be like, is this what, council, this is what you're looking for?
yes. Okay,
And we
good.
get like a yay, or,
Yeah,
no,
that's-
this isn't really what we thought we're at, you know, we wanted you guys to go.
Okay,
And then they would say yay or nay, and if it's yay, we're up
okay.
and running. If it's like, no, we want this, we want this, we want this, we can, you know.
Yeah, but that's a little different than what Jacqueline said. These goals are down to pretty detailed tasks. And so my thought is we embrace these goals. We add extra that we have bandwidth for, but I don't want to like come back to council with rewording these. I kind of want to come back to council and say, here's who's going to work on
It's not
what.
so much it's actionable items.
Yeah, but like I would say like on established council-driven priorities, like who's on the commission's gonna work on that? So that responsible person, we start putting sub-teams in there in April when we have, we're more fully staffed. Because these are specific, I mean,
Well, so I just have a list of things that, coming out of 2025 that, and the survey was one of them. So where does the survey fit in the goals? Is that in?
It's a separate goal.
to me, we're partaking in the city survey, so our goal will be
It's not
to do,
It's not part of our goals? Park survey?
I mean, it sort of is, but it's not something,
Okay. So I'm just gonna, so the pollinator work?
that, we'll have to add that in because of the
Okay.
mayor's pledge, yeah.
Okay, and I think we need to develop a point of view on community, on events, on, maybe that's where Adopt a Park kind of falls in.
I would say
Master
there's,
plans, historical knowledge for playgrounds, we need to start thinking about. So this is really tactical, but I don't want to lose some of the momentum that we have on some of the work. So can you help me figure out how we fit this in to that?
To fit what your goals are, what you feel your goals are? Is that what you're asking me?
So if we want to start working on master plans, and by that, I would say master plans are, the first job there is to, and this comes out of our guiding principles. There's been a lot of work done with master plans, and the first thing I think we've discussed to do is to look in and see what we have, so that we can start building off of that.
So I
And
think
one of the parts of the guiding principles that we presented, it was that we would, at some point in time, not in 2026, but at some point in time, we would have master plans for all parks. So the idea is that we would get that started in 2026.
So where are you as far as your master plans? Because it seemed to me that Jamie had already gone through and done a survey of everything that was in the parks. Did you guys go?
Those are the
and
standards.
build-
Those
okay,
are
but you-
standards.
those are
There
actually
also-
surveys done by everyone.
Right.
And she
Yeah.
took most of that from stuff we already had. She just
Right.
reformed.
So I guess to
But she
me,
did a lot of work going
you
to
should
the
be
parks and
building
bringing
on
them.
that,
Yeah.
right?
Okay. I
That
didn't
doesn't
realize-
include every single park in here, and when you guys are talking about adopt a park, and we're talking about we want volunteerism, and you're telling me you've already assigned all the parks to somebody, to me, that would seem like, okay, if we've already got a coordinator for each park, if we have an adopt a park, it seems very logical to me that the person who's in charge of that park would be in charge of the people who are doing the adopt a park, so that, as Joe said, it's very important that we have a coordinator for those types of things, so I guess those are the types of things that fit into our goals then. Does that make sense?
And I think when we're
I
talking
think
about
we're all
master
talking about
plan,
the same thing, it's just we're not getting at it.
when you're talking about a master, like you want to have a master plan, we want to categorize the
Yep.
parks. That is included
Mhm.
in the core. So it's like, that's part of, evaluate all the parks, standardize the criteria, and then, a priority list of things. So that would be when you're categorizing the parks, you're doing a master plan, which can just be, we took
Yeah,
the information
but
we
I would
have
say-
and put it into needs or goals for it.
To me, I think if we did like a pyramid, the first thing is the standards to make sure we're taking care of parks and we're
Yep.
keeping that up. The second is to your original point, like a year ago, let's categorize the park by neighborhood park, nature, so the council knows here's the portfolio. And like we have,
Yep.
like I didn't know this, but here's 5 neighborhood parks. Then we get the council to buy into that, and then we say, in some of that, there's some things that needed. And then when all that's done, then I think we start to go back and write a plan for each park, because we have this great baseline to do so.
Absolutely, I just
So
think
when you
there's
said
a-
we can't get it done by 26, I think that's a 27 goal, if we're get to what the council wants us
Right,
to do at
but
26.
it's, I think in 2026, if we want to make headway in
Yeah.
2027, it's getting ready for 2027.
I think all
So-
this gets us ready for that. Like, this is a lot of work here.
No, I know, but we just need to know what exists.
Yeah.
I'm just bringing that up as an example.
Yeah.
What exists so that we can build on that, and if it's all, I didn't realize that Janie put together a list of master plans.
There is, it's really just the park, is what we have.
Some parks have it, some and some don't.
Yeah,
I don't think we have that many.
Master plans?
no, 'cause those are,
No, I didn't say master plan, I said that, yeah, yeah.
the park with each kind of amenity kind of breakdown. What
Because there's a
we need
master
to,
plan for the golf course.
Yeah, there's probably like
There's-
Summit,
obviously now we have one
Golf
for
course.
Antoine, which
Antoine.
is finishing up, we
Yeah.
have Hackberry, we have.
Hackberry.
It probably isn't a very extensive part of the work, it just needs to be represented in here, I think.
I think what we need to do
Okay.
right now is to work on, once we have the parks broken down, which we kind of already have the information, we'll talk about it a little more, is working on, this is what we want each of the park levels to be at.
And that's the standards for
The
park
standard.
type. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what you're saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then, once we have that, because to be, all this work cannot be done in 1 year. We don't have money,
Yes,
we don't
right,
have staff, we
Yeah.
don't have.
Right.
And this is incredibly important baseline work
So
to do.
what part of this will be too is, these are our priorities. So in a perfect world, yes, we have endless staff, endless money, endless time, we can get it all done. What I think is important and will be helpful for us and for council and for staff is, this is our top priority. I think Steve last year, when he was like, those signs are a priority, and we need new signs at the parks. And, put that to the top of the list. So it's things like that. Is it, I don't know, is it, we need more benches? Is it, we need better equipment? Do we, I don't know what it is. I think that's something to talk about, and I don't want to, kind of push you guys in a direction. What I want us to do is look at each of the categories in what we have and say, natural parks are great right now. They just need a little, so that can be lower on the list. Or, with Hackberry, once that's done, sport fields are going to be incredibly low on our list. That's not something we want to,
I also I'm curious, and this is just random, but I'm curious to know, with the playgrounds, where, and I'm sure this exists somewhere, but where are we at in terms of their,
Age-wise.
yeah,
And that should be in the survey. The playgrounds, I think, should be in the survey.
So we, right now, in our capital improvement, we have, you know, playgrounds kind of pushed out to certain years when they're supposed to be done.
okay,
That can change, because if the playground's in good shape,
Yeah.
just because it's supposed to last 10 years doesn't mean that's the only
Right.
it can last 10 years.
right.
But we have all that information in the cartograph, which is our like software we use. So
That's
all
your
the
iPad, when
equipment-
we went up your iPad?
Yeah, all the equipment and all the other stuff is in there, and it says when it's installed, and there's even like rubrics that they put in where it's like, oh, this is at 90% of its lifespan or something for equipment.
Yeah.
It's mostly for like vehicles or kind of
Mhm.
that, but it can be good for parks and stuff too, at least as a starter.
Yeah, and I would say, I read these and I thought, oh, these are a lot of goals that I thought we'd be writing ourselves, but the council did that. But if you overlap at what we wanted to do, we wanted to categorize the parks after we figured out the guiding principles, and then we wanted to develop standards by park type, which you had brought up, and then go out and look at the parks and then come back. And I think that fits in the second here, that, you know, develop council-driven priorities for city parks by categorizing park assets, evaluating current whatever. So I think our approach will be, we'll categorize, we'll assess, and bring to council, but then we have a whole picture to bring to council. And so we don't bring one picture, one
You know, I
park.
think, you know, in some of our work sessions where we're working on this, you know, council felt like they didn't give as much direction as was needed,
Mhm.
and they wanna help
Oh,
us
no,
be
this, I mean,
better,
no,
you know,
I just,
better,
yeah.
prepare for what we need to do.
It's great, there are just, for me, there are things that,
And I think a lot of those can, you know,
yeah.
the
that
Monarch
live in
is
there.
part of, it's a, you know, it's a need, it's a short-term planning, or it can be a long-term planning.
But we want to make sure that we go through that list when we do the planning and understand what, do we want to add to these or put inside these, and then what we want to keep for like next year, so.
So
I don't
are
wanna
we
not.
going to, is this another subcommittee kind of a thing, or is this a working session, or how do we wanna tackle this?
Well, I think we want to go through these to understand them,
We'll-
and then,
we'll do
and make
that.
sure we're tracking, so that when April we're bringing the new people on board, we can help them understand them, and then put names on the,
I mean, I
on
think
the,
it could be a subcommittee, I mean, Hackberry's already a subcommittee, so that goal is taken care of.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm saying a subcommittee for this whole thing,
Yeah.
but maybe I'm still.
Well,
no, we want to do
think-
this as a commission. This to me is commission work, to
Okay.
look through these and decide the work.
So then we'll work on this in our April 7th work session?
you know, I would like,
Well, I think we could add, well, this is my idea, sorry. We should add, if there's more goals we want to do, and make sure things don't get lost, like the Monarch. And I know I talked to Elisa, and she's keen on a lake access point recommendation this year, which I
Right.
think we're ready to do the top 5 or 6, according to Michael. Those things I want to make
and
sure are,
those are in.
okay, I don't see those directly, so maybe you have to help us with that.
Yes,
So I think we
that's,
want to go
you
through
know,
everything,
that's the needs and the priority.
yeah.
So if lake access are a high priority, that can be one of our, you know,
Got it.
I guess, actions, one of the tasks we want to focus on. And, you know, it just has to be prioritized. It can't be, we want this, and then
Yeah.
we're just like, oh.
So maybe my question, Jacqueline,
Yes.
when it says establish council-driven priorities for city parks by categorizing park assets, evaluating current and future use, condition, community needs to guide investment. If we categorize all the parks and we set standards by park type and we go visit the parks and we come back to you and report, that does that. So then what we would add under there is lake access points. I'm thinking that's there. And I think we can offer recommendation on that because of what you and Jamie did. Like you said you agreed on these, and the middle ones you weren't sure, but the top ones we could take back. So I think that's
And that
doable.
process, what they did.
Like I don't want to lose that word.
They did a lot of great work at those, and that's like an
Exactly.
awesome document. That was the committee work, and now we would all talk as a commission and say.
To recommend the ones to be marked.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Say
I guess that's, I didn't see right away that being in here, but I can see how you're looking at it. So I guess what I would recommend is we read these and make sure we understand them, and then we all add anything else that we think we have the bandwidth to do, or it's in here already, we just need to make sure it's clear.
And for the things that are on my
Yeah.
list, I could fit all these things within, I mean, Hackberry, almost it feels like it should fit into one of the top two goals.
Now, that was just separate because
Yeah,
that
but it
is-
really
It's
doesn't,
already-
it is
it's
already a
already underway.
priority.
So I think any of the things that are on my list would fit into one of these two.
Well, that's great.
So,
Yeah, so maybe we just go through each to make sure we understand it, and then, so for the first one, I can take a stab. Create a consistent, efficient meeting structure, clarify Park Commission roles and focus areas, establish short and long-term goals, which we're doing now. Align meeting agendas with adopted goals, and I'd be willing to build a sub-team or take that to just meeting management. Like, set the agenda, but have a standing agenda, so once we have some of these goals, they're always on there that we can touch base on. Make sure at the end everyone has time to say something, kind of follow the city council agenda. And what I would ask Joe is, I think, because of the quorum thing, I can't, but I would like to own building the agenda by having you send it out, and then everyone gets ideas. I build the agenda, and you send it out before the meeting, so everyone has time to put things on there. I'll put it together so it makes sense, so it's not just a laundry list, but then everyone sees it before the meeting if there's time. So I want to talk to you about maybe like a more longer term time to set that up, but I can't set it up because of the quorum thing, so.
Yeah, and we can't really discuss it either, or email, so it would be, we can work on setting an agenda. I can send it out to everyone, and they can have suggestions.
And they get feedback to you,
Just to me.
and then we could talk, and then I would say, I'm gonna build the agenda. I just wanna organize it so it's not just a laundry list.
Yeah,
And
but
if we have a structured agenda, we can
Is-
put people's things in the, and then you'd send it out again. So I'd kind of be safe, but I'd like to take a bigger role in thinking about the agenda and like how it should be set up.
Yeah, but anyone can, if anyone has something they want on the agenda.
Yes,
We
yeah.
just have to make sure that it's aligning with our goals. We're not just putting something.
That's the whole point of it. That's the exact point I'm saying, so, yeah.
And
So-
things that we're not, I think, what council wants from, our meetings is us to be a little more focused on things we want to accomplish instead of like, oh, this is the new flavor of the month, now we're talking about this, and then it kind of goes.
Yeah, but I think people at the end can have that time if they have a good
Sure.
idea.
Yeah,
But I'm willing to take that on if anyone wants to help me.
well, the time at the end too is.
But I think I can put
perfect
together
time.
like an approach.
I've heard from this resident that we're really interested in that, and that can be the start of something, but
Yeah.
instead of kind of.
But we can just follow city council, like if someone comes up and says, you wanna add something to the agenda.
We should, it's 6 o'clock.
Oh, sorry, we're having such a good conversation.
We'll discuss this more, because
Yeah.
it is still.
Sorry,
No,
forgot my time.